Mr. Weston, West Vancouver, Sunshine Coast, Sea to Sky Country, seconded by Mr. Wallace, moves the Bill S211, an act to establish a national day to promote health and fitness for all Canadians, be now read a second time and referred to the Standing Committee on Canadian Heritage. Debate. The Honourable Member for West Vancouver, Sunshine Coast, Sea to Sky Country.
Rarely in this House, one discovers a unity around an issue that brings together the people of Canada and their representatives, rallied in common cause. Occasionally, a bill to which we speak already has such broad support that it has gained sweeping support from coast to coast to coast. And sometimes in this chamber, we witness a powerful, unstoppable energy unleashed when Canadians unite in common cause to defeat a national adversary. Mr. Speaker, it's a great honor to rise on one of those occasions today as I sponsor Bill S211, an act to establish a national day to promote health and fitness for all Canadians, also known as the National Health and Fitness Day Act. In the remarks that follow, I'll outline the health and healthcare crises that led to this bill and explain how the bill responds to those needs. I'll also pay tribute to some champions of health and fitness, then for those who decide to get involved, suggest some practical ways to do so. We're facing a battle, Mr. Speaker. An implacable adversary is slowly, insidiously killing Canadians and dragging us down as a nation. I say implacable because, unlike a human adversary, there's no person or group to target in making the situation better. The adversary is a pattern of behavior that has progressively undermined Canadians' level of physical fitness. What is it that I'm calling our national adversary? Our national adversary is inactivity. It's costing us and it's killing us. Canada's inactivity problem drives deep. It's rooted in our culture and wedded to the routines we've developed in our schools, our work, and our play. The problem relates to the progress we've made in technology, which enables us to communicate by computer, seated in the comfort of our homes, of our classrooms, and our workplaces. Similarly, screen time, whether in front of a TV, computer, or smartphone, has taken our kids off playing fields and put them on chairs instead. Statistics Canada has reported a continuous decline in sports participation, which from 1992 to 2005 went from 45% to 28% among Canadians aged 15 and older. That's less than 1 out of every 3 Canadian adults who is as active as we should be. Less than 7% of Canadian children and youth meet the guideline of 60 minutes of activity daily, 6 days per week. Among Canadians aged 20 and older, 2/3 do not meet the recommended physical activity levels. That is, to be active at least 2.5 hours per week to achieve a health benefit. Mr. Speaker, that's only 20 minutes per day to meet the minimum standards for adults, and we're not even doing that. Statistics Canada has delivered more disturbing news. In the period between 1981 and 2009, measured obesity roughly doubled in most age groups for both sexes. Data from 2009 suggests that approximately 1 in 4 Canadian adults aged 18 years and over is obese. In 2008, the combined overweight-obese proportion was 62.1%. That's nearly 2 out of 3 adult Canadians is either overweight or obese. This trend has dramatic implications, since children who are overweight are more likely to be overweight as adults. Among other things, studies have shown that adolescents who are overweight have a 14-fold increased risk of a heart attack before they turn 50. Excess weight in childhood is increasingly linked to illnesses once seen only in adults, including type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, abnormal blood fats, abnormal blood clotting, and thickening of the arteries. Psychologically, evidence suggests a positive relationship between physical activity and psychosocial health in employees, including emotional well-being, improved mental health, and reduced depression, anxiety, and stress. They've all been associated with regular physical activity, as well as reduced symptoms of fatigue, enhanced mood, increased quality of life, and life satisfaction. Note, Mr. Speaker, the support for the bill before us is not related to high-performance athletes, but instead to Canadians who are not necessarily involved in athletics. This isn't a sports bill, it's a health and fitness bill. As I biked to work this morning, I was thinking, in fact, of those Canadian heroes like Terry Fox and my friend Rick Hansen, who've shown the world that participation in physical activity is not just for able-bodied people. More and more persons with disabilities, I prefer the term adaptive athletes, have made the point really clear. Look at Jody Middick, the Canadian veteran who lost his legs in Afghanistan, runs marathons anyway, and is now campaigning to be an Ottawa City Councillor, along with Matt Fleury, another great champion of health and fitness. Initiatives such as Soldier On and Ottawa's Army Run bring out many of our wounded warriors and others, inspiring with the realization that you don't have to be Wayne Gretzky or Nancy Green Rain to participate and improve your health through physical activity. Our declining health and fitness rates are clearly an economic problem, not just a matter of life quality. The Public Health Agency of Canada has concluded that costs of obesity are estimated to be $7 billion. That's the total cost of the obesity-related diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. You may have heard the quote from Roman times that a healthy mind relates to a healthy body. In addition to direct and indirect healthcare costs, the quality and productivity of our work in Canada will improve if our people become healthier, if only by decreasing the number of sick days. Indirect costs of poor health include the value of economic output lost due to illness, injury-related work disability, and premature death. It's been estimated that on average, an inactive person compared to an active person spends 38% more days in hospital and uses 5.5% more family physician visits, 13% more specialist services, and 12% more nurse visits. The bill that I sponsor today, S211, tackles problems that touch every Canadian in terms of our health, our quality of life, and our economy. The bill aims to increase the health of Canadians by increasing our physical participation rates. Specifically, supporters wish to encourage local governments, non-government organizations, the private sector, and all Canadians to recognize the first Saturday in June as National Health and Fitness Day, or NHFD, a day marked by local, provincial, and national events to promote health and fitness. The bill makes particular mention of local governments as they own and operate many of our nation's health and fitness facilities. NHFD supporters want to encourage local governments more aggressively to promote the use of such facilities. Furthermore, we encourage cities and towns to mark the day with local events and initiatives celebrating and promoting the importance and use of local health, recreational, sports, and fitness facilities. People around the world know that Canada's mountains, oceans, lakes, forests, parks, and wilderness also offer recreation and fitness opportunities, and we ought to benefit from what we share collectively. The month in which NHFD falls, June, is not only a time of great weather, but is also Parks and Recreation Month, a time in the calendar already set aside to foster heightened appreciation of our outdoor assets. The bill is an amended version of a private member's bill I introduced in this House previously that had widespread support, but for procedural reasons has not progressed. To be clear, NHFD is not a legal holiday. It will not incur costs of lost productivity, but in fact, it's not just a day at all. It's about a dramatic change in lifestyle. On a personal level, my wife Donna and my children Shane, Jake, and Meimei have inspired me to promote this bill. Donna is a personal trainer. My children all earned black belts in Taekwondo at an early age and are dedicated athletes. I'm a pretty active person myself, finding that physical activity keeps me healthy, energized, and effective in my public service. With the privilege of representing West Vancouver, the Sunshine Coast, and Sea to Sky Country in BC, I can say that constituents in the riding I represent are among the most active in the country. Where I live, people love the outdoors and are concerned about the physical inactivity problem Canada is facing. I've personally learned much from the people in my community who've inspired me to promote health and fitness as a gift they give to the rest of our great country. I bring S211 forward today in paying special tribute to the wonderful role models for health and fitness who live in the riding I represent. The bill was tabled appropriately by my friend and everyone's athletic icon, Canada's female athlete of the 20th century, Senator Nancy Green Rain. Senator Green Rain, who's here today, Nancy, to her millions of fans, is a proud British Columbian and an articulate spokeswoman for all Canadians in many areas of public policy. But in promoting health and fitness, no one can surpass her. Demonstrating great leadership, Nancy won unanimous support for S211 in the Senate. I also thank the Minister of Health and the Minister of State for Sport, who've gone out of their way to support NHFD at every turn. To my colleagues across the floor, thank you. This bill already enjoys a rare element of enthusiastic cross-party support. Another distinctive aspect of the bill is the fact that it's already been implemented on a broad scale, well before it becomes law. Over 155 cities and towns across Canada have proclaimed the day, including Vancouver, Calgary, Ottawa, Halifax, Yellowknife, and Pond Inlet. I'm especially proud that the earliest adopters included the towns and the cities in the riding I represent: West Vancouver, Whistler, Squamish, Sechelt, Gibsons, Lions Bay, Bowen Island, North Van District, and Powell River. Led by Premier Christy Clark and the energetic MLA Michelle Stilwell, BC last spring became the first province to endorse NHFD, followed quickly by the Yukon as the first territory. On May 30th, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities passed a resolution at its annual conference encouraging all member municipalities to proclaim the day, and just 2 weeks ago, the Quebec Union of Municipalities followed suit. Mr. Speaker, you'd be amazed at the number and influence of non-government organizations which have endorsed the bill and begun to promote its objectives even before it passes. These include the Canadian Medical Association, Lisa Ashley and the Canadian Nurses Association, Chris Gray and Heart and Stroke Foundation, Chris Jones and Physical Health Educators of Canada, Bob Elliott and Sport Matters Group, Participaction, Deborah Gasowitz and the Sports Information Resource Centre, CJ Noble and Canadian Parks and Recreation, Richard Way and Canadian Sport for Life, Trish Sarker and the Fitness Industry Council of Canada, and Arnie Elias of Canada Bikes, Canadian Inter-University Sports, Rob McClure and the Ottawa Bike Club, and Trans-Canada Trail, championed by Lorene Harper, Paul Labarge, and Deborah Apps, and one of our most recent supporters, Movember. Additionally, I'm grateful to private sector organizations for their support, such as the Running Room, Canadian Tire and Jumpstart, Kunstad Sports, Glacier Media, Capitol Hill Hotel and Suites, Tractivity, and Good Life Fitness. Like most good things in life, the bill comes about due to the efforts of a large team of people over many years. The broad public support for NHFD reflects a unity in this House that began in 2008 during the lead-up to the 2010 Olympic and Paralympic Games. As a large part of the Games were to take part in the riding I represent, I spent much time with people asking what we could do to ensure a lasting positive legacy from the Games. While gold medals were a crowning glory, we wanted something that all Canadians could claim as our own on an ongoing basis. A key tragic event that spurred us on was the untimely death of Tom Hansen, a renowned Canadian press journalist who died in 2009 while playing pickup hockey. Tom was a young man, only 41. The Prime Minister took the occasion to remind us that we needed to take care of our health. I had Mr. Hansen's sad experience in mind, along with the Prime Minister's words, when I met two great heroes of mine, Pierre Lafontaine and Phil Marsh, who have left an indelible imprint on Canada for their advocacy of health and fitness. Pierre and Phil are the energetic coaches of our Parliamentary Fitness Initiative, which I began in 2009 with the support of the members for Sackville Eastern Shore and Etobicoke North, each of them from different parties in this House. When I met Pierre in 2009, he was coach of Canada's national swim team. He continues in his role of promoting national health and fitness, now as president of Canadian Inter-University Sports. Phil Marsh is regional manager of the Running Room in Ottawa, who with his boss, John Stanton, is a major force in promoting fitness for all Canadians. Both Pierre and Phil are great men, generous with their time, who volunteer to coach our MPs and senators in running and swimming, each once a week whenever Parliament is in session. I've also worked with others to create companion events that have supported NHFD, including Bike Day on the Hill, Bike Day in Canada, and National Life Jacket and Swim Day on the Hill. So with all that support and all this national enthusiasm, I have to ask the most important question. Will a bill like this make any difference to Canada's battle against inactivity? National health and fitness has far-reaching implications, including physical health, mental illness, life expectancy, school performance, national productivity, economic performance, and healthcare costs. If we do not change our current patterns, this is the first generation of Canadians who will die at an age younger than our parents. We must change our direction. S211 will be Parliament's statement that MPs and senators wish to instill in Canadians an awareness of the significant benefits of physical activity and to encourage our people to get more active. Supporting NHFD is not the solution, but it's part of the solution. To all Canadians, I encourage you to take the field in the battle against inactivity. Please be sure to approach your mayors and councillors if they've not already proclaimed National Health and Fitness Day. To colleagues in this House, I thank you for your support and welcome you to join me in the Parliamentary Fitness Initiative for your own health and to demonstrate your commitment to your constituents. Please be sure to support Bill S211. Canada's health and fitness depends on you. Thank you.